Hey, welcome back to a brand new video that I didn't expect myself to make, and to be completely honest, I didn't think there would be anything more I would need to cover of the situation I made my previous video on. I thought that everything I covered was all of the information from this situation, and I didn't expect much more to come out as the person had deleted their account. However, as I looked more into the information and started seeing more of the evidence come towards me from the people that made the thread as they came into contact with me, I saw a lot more from this situation than at first I ever saw, and as such, I'd like to delve back into the Zer0finix situation and explain to you how Zer0finix may even be a predator that was taking advantage of minors. Before we begin though, and delve into the situation, I would like to clarify that everything I'm going to discuss from this point is alleged, and is based on screenshot proof I've seen. However, there is no 100% certain proof to prove that this person is guilty, and as such, I don't want anyone going out and harassing anyone over this video. This is an allegation. And as allegations aren't confirmed, they should be handled with a lot of scrutiny, and I'll be sure to bring you more information if this situation expands. However, I personally believe that there is a lot to question Zer0 for in this situation, and I'll delve into all of that in just a little bit. Though, before I delve into this situation, I'd like to recommend that you watch my previous video on Zer0finix, as the previous video goes into some of their lolicon behavior, goes into some of the indecent messages they were sending towards minors, goes into some of the porn they sent to minors, expands on the whole situation as a whole from the initial information I received, while discussing the public reputation that they had, and how they'd attempted to avoid any backlash by creating new social media accounts and claiming to be on a hiatus on their main account, despite continuing to receive backlash, which inevitably led to them losing all of their accounts, as they deleted them all, meaning that as of this moment, they have no social media platforms to return to. However, with Instagram being a platform where you deactivate accounts, not delete them, you can reinstate this account at any time, and as such, Zer0finix is not going to be gone forever. It happens a lot with these predators and people that act like this. Happened with Maximilianus. A lot of creators will deactivate their accounts when under backlash, and then reactivate them quite silently whenever the backlash starts disappearing, so that they can dodge almost all backlash that they could possibly receive, which to me is a distasteful way to avoid any backlash for your actions, especially when your actions are this severe, instead of providing a case for yourself to defend your innocence. But I'll get into all of that in just a second. But before I begin, may I mention how many of these situations come from Twitter? These situations seem to be like Twitter heaven for some reason. Everybody on Twitter loves discussing these predator allegations, and I also discuss predator allegations on my Twitter. So if you want to check out my Twitter, which will be linked down below in the description, you can check it out and see some of my tweets. I obviously discuss these situations there, and I discuss a lot of situations that never make it into videos because they don't have enough information on them to become full videos, or because they're so cut and dry and so overcovered that I didn't decide to make a video on them. Like, for example, I plan to talk about the Trisha Paytas and H3H3 drama, as that situation is not something I want to make into a video because I like making art commentary videos because they're more fun, and I don't really like discussing stuff like H3H3 drama. But basically the point I'm getting to is that I post a lot of tweets discussing drama and giving my opinions on different topics, and you can even suggest topics to me there, or just reply to my tweets asking me thoughts on something, and I'll be sure to give you the information as I perceive it. And may I just say, thank you for 3,000 followers on the Twitter. That was a huge surprise to me, and I appreciate that you guys have supported me that much. Genuinely, thank you, it means a lot. I also discuss a lot of these topics over on my Discord server in the drama discussion channel, so if discussing these topics with me one-to-one, or picking my brain on different situations or suggesting ideas to me sounds like your type of thing, you can join my server, and maybe you can just engage with the community. We have a very caring community there that's like a family, but not the cult type of family, more like the regular people that appreciate each other and treat each other with respect type of family. I know a lot of you guys in my Discord have been providing me quite warranted criticism on how long my self-promotion sections of my videos can be, and as such, I'd like to make them more fun and engaging, so if you have some ideas for me to do that, please do let me know. Finally, money! If you want to give me your money, so that I can fill my greedy pockets up with more cash, you can check out my Patreon, Ko-fi, join button. I love money. I'm kidding, you don't actually have to donate, but if you would consider it, that would be pretty cool, and would genuinely be appreciated, as these videos take a lot of work, and it's 6 AM. Anyway, kecked up you. Let's get right into it. Okay, I need to take this seriously now. This is a serious situation after all. I'd like to start with one of the simplest things to cover here that's very cut and dry, so I'm going to focus on this as my first point. You'll notice here that when Zer0 was called out for a lot of their recent behavior, and how they've acted towards a lot of minors, or how they've behaved in general by harassing an artist that just simply bought a design of a character that looked similar to one of Zero's. In response to Zer0 receiving a lot of backlash for their behavior, they said that the reason they wouldn't take their life is because they are not as weak as Etika, and what the fuck? Genuinely, that is one of the most fucked up things you could ever possibly say about someone who tragically lost their life because they failed in the battle against their mental health. It is disgusting that you would ever use someone else's mental health struggles as a way to say you're stronger than them, or to call them weak for not being able to deal with the overbearing amount of pressure placed on them. As a content creator, and while dealing with the stigmas of mental health daily, while struggling with an overbearing amount of mental health pressure that's crushing them down on every single day. It is disgusting that you would ever call anyone that lost the battle to suicide weak, and it's also just as disgusting that you would try to say that because someone took their life, they're weak, and that you would never be as weak as them because you follow your positive side and never give up on your dream. This statement in itself is so insensitive to the amount of people that struggle with mental health, and it's also insensitive to people like Etika, who lost their life completely unjustifiably because they didn't get the support they needed, and because they tragically lost the battle to suicide. Suicide victims should not be used in your arguments to try and prove yourself a better person, and it disgusts me how nonchalantly you can mention the name of someone who lost their life so tragically as a point against someone to prove yourself better with your mental health. This statement, which highlights their lack of sympathy for Etika's loss, shows absolutely no care for Etika in any way, and comes across so scummy, absolutely disgusting from you, and upsets me to another level. Well, that was a serious topic at least, but let's touch on some more fun stuff. Like how Zer0 has apparently groomed multiple minors. Now, you may have noticed that I stuck this in as one screenshot in between my past video because I didn't have the time to record it and get that video finished in time, and intended to do this follow-up. Zer0 the Wolf was accused of having illicit conversations and sending illicit images to multiple minors. These minors were 16 and 17, with Zer0 being 22 and 23, I believe, which is absolutely disgraceful if proven true, as these minors were under the age of consent, and Zer0 was a fully grown adult, not 2 years age gap, not even 3 years, but 4 years to 6 years in some cases with this situation. So let's delve into all of that information now, and I'm sure you'll really enjoy this, because oh boy, don't I just love reading through all of these disgusting conversations and feeling just worse and worse about the current state of the eco-political climate between humans. By the way, I have no idea if the sentence I just said means anything at all. I just said it because I wanted to sound smart. This allegation starts with a post reading, "There's more updates on continuing to expose more proof of the recent events and evidence against Zer0finix, now Vuneko. After receiving more solid evidence, Zer0 has now seen solidified evidence, apparently proving them a predator, while also having inappropriate intimate relationships with multiple male minors, and a lot more." They then attach 2 screenshots. One is a conversation where Zer0 sends porn to a minor, and then starts talking about their genitalia, which is disgusting given this person was either 16 or 17. And then the second screenshot shows the minor confirming their age, and Zer0 stating back that they're 22, meaning that they would be 4 to 5 years older than this 17-year-old. And I know a lot of people will use the excuse that, oh, well, they're about to turn 18, which is irrelevant. It's still a crime, and it's still a disgusting action, given that Zer0 is so much older. This is then followed up with another allegation from the same account, reading more proof of Zer0finix being a predator, as they were apparently having these male minors do more sexual acts, and having sexual roleplay with them. You can see in this chat Zer0 stating that they got off to this sexual conversation with a minor, which is gross in itself. But then when the minor came forward with their story about how they were taken advantage of by Zer0 while being a child that didn't know much better, and was clearly being manipulated by an adult who knew better, Zer0 tried to blame the minor for their behavior and tried to make it seem like they were the monster that had manipulated Zer0 into a relationship. If you can't tell, this excuse was pulled right out of Zer0's arse as a way to avoid any backlash for dating someone 5 years younger than them. The victim has actually come out with a whole story on Instagram that reads everything that apparently happened and their thoughts. The post in particular out of these that I'd like to highlight is this one. The post reads, "You say I used you? Me, I used you? Ha, you make me laugh, Zero. You used me, guilt-tripped me into doing sexual things with you, forcing me to spend a bunch of money on your commissions, forcing me to lose interest in my previous girlfriends, making me think I was in love with you, say I forced you to date me? No, I didn't. Then you lost interest in me because I wanted you to respect that I had a girlfriend, and I didn't want to fuck you, a 22-year-old. If this is true, this behavior is absolutely fucking outlandish. The fact that a 22-year-old would think that it's their right to ever involve themselves sexually with a minor is disgraceful in itself. Once you're 22, you understand right from wrong very well. I can understand the excuse that a lot of people give to people that are just turning 19, for example, turning 20. They don't really understand life yet, they make mistakes like everyone else does. But when you're 22, you know that it's consciously wrong to date someone 5 to 6 years younger than you. You know that morally that is fucked, you know that legally that is a crime, and you know that nobody would ever tolerate that behavior. But again, given this is the same person that made artwork saying that they love lolly porn, it's not really much of a surprise. This person highlights so clearly how fucked up a human can be when they somehow decide it's okay to sexually involve themselves with minors. This situation is so much worse than the Lexit situation on many different levels, as the severity of these actions goes much more than just, like sending someone a piece of porn that you've drawn. This situation could involve literal predatory behavior where they are illicitly involving themselves with minors, trying to get the minors to do sexual things with them, and doing sexual things while thinking about the minors. That is more than just intolerable, that is criminal. And if this is all true, which again is still an allegation, so don't take it as fact yet. In my opinion, if this is all true, Zero deserves no platform, as someone who has highlighted themselves as a danger to multiple minors, and has highlighted how their predatory behavior and involvement with lolly pornography could incite and spur on more illicit behavior between minors, which they will excuse by making new accounts in different communities to try and evade any backlash. This person is a criminal, if this is all true, that doesn't deserve a platform. But again, this is an allegation, and if you aren't fully caught up, I'd suggest you watch my previous video for the rest of the evidence, as I only got to cover the whole new information here, and I didn't really summarize the previous information. I wanted to, but I decided not to for this video because I normally summarize them, and I feel like that takes up a bulk of the video that people just don't really care about that much. I mean, you can always let me know if you like the summaries and I'll bring them back. But for now, I think I'm going to end this video here, as I think I've said mainly everything I needed to say about Zero. So if you're new to this channel, or haven't seen any of my videos like this one, you can subscribe to the channel right now, so that you'll get updated the next time I post a video, and so I won't disappear into the YouTube abyss, never to be seen again in your recommended. If you could just subscribe, turn on notifications so you get notified when I upload, that would be highly appreciated, as I'm aiming for 50k by the end of the year, and I can only achieve that goal with your support. I make videos daily, so if you want to support me on my other platforms as a thank you, you can check out my Twitter, Discord, or my Patreon, Ko-fi, and join button, if you want to support me financially, that is. My Twitter and Discord highlight more posts about me, where I'll just let you see more of myself off camera, where you get to see more of my personality, you get to just engage with me, and I feel like you'll get to know me better than just what you see on screen, which is more of a scripted approach to content. As obviously I'm human, and I know that like self-promo plugs and all of that take away from the sentiment of genuineness that you kind of get with my content. But back on the topic of Patreon, Ko-fi, join button, I'd like to thank my donators SpyV, Spy62, Ghost of Griever, Heimdall, and Maple. If you'd like to join the list of names of the people I thank at the end of these videos for donating to the channel and supporting me financially so that I can make more content like this one, where I can invest in more equipment, like I recently bought the Elgato ring light, and I'm now working on buying a camera for you guys so that you can get to see really HD camera footage from a DSLR. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, you can donate as minimal as $1 to any of my platforms down below to support me financially and allow me to afford those products. And just so you know, if you could donate more, I may be able to hire an editor, which would mean I may be able to get 2 videos out in a day, which would be absolutely insane if possible. And so if you could support me financially to help me achieve that, that would be incredibly appreciated, as again, these videos take a lot of work and I simply couldn't finish 2 videos alone. But that's where I'm going to end this video, as I don't want to drag it out any longer. I believe I've said everything I need to say, and I appreciate all of the recent support. It's insane that we hit 30k. I know I've already thanked you a few times for it, but still, that achievement has been racking my brain for the past few days, and it still hasn't registered properly yet, because that was something I wanted to achieve for so long. It genuinely means a lot that you've helped me achieve something so close to me, and if you want to leave a comment saying before 30k gang down below if you were here before then, to let me know you've seen to the end of this video, and also so that I know you were here before then, I'll be sure to reply to your comment and appreciate your support. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video on the channel, whatever that may be, which I believe it will be a creep show art video where I go over what Hopeless Peaches says and also what Emily says. That'll be seen soon, get ready, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
Says she wanna rock when it like me. I'm a stylish guy. Spend a little guap when it like me. We can catch a fly. Says she wanna rock when it like me.